I try to grab it. But I've gone ahead and cut out all these strips, and some of this is just going to be kind of basic assembly. But to show you, of course, on the cover of the video, here's the packaging, and it's called the Simply Shoebox Die Set. It comes with tons of dies. And hi, Sapphire Manga. It is Raquel, but I'll forgive you. Thank you so much for joining. And even if you can't stay, that's okay. You can always watch the replay if you like. Just go ahead and fast forward through the first 5 minutes of every video that you watch of mine when it's alive, because there's nothing much to see in the first 5 minutes. It's always like me fiddling with the camera, all that good stuff. But if you've seen my other lives, you know, I get kind of like a slow start to them, but then we get going and chatting and having fun. But I wanted to say this is an awesome little, you know, pamphlet that you get when you buy Tonic Studios dies. If you've never crafted, it'll have every step that you need to take. Or if you just need a quick reminder of what you should do first, or how many pieces to cut, all that good stuff. Now, I always recommend that you start off with the base pieces in the heaviest cardstock that you can find. This is a 110-pound cardstock, and it does ask you to cut this base piece because it does create a shoebox. It asks you to cut this out 3 times. I've cut it out twice in 110-pound cardstock, and then again in decorative cardstock, this designer paper here. And this paper did not come like this. I actually did dry emboss it, and I intend to use it on the interior portion of the box. And I also did cut it out of, I know I have it. What did I do? I don't know how I managed to do this, guys. I cut it out of another designer piece of paper. And Lord, I can't find it. I wouldn't be me if I didn't have something going on that just doesn't make sense. Oh, no worries, Sapphire. Don't take me too seriously. I don't, you know, you can spell it any way you want. I don't get hurt by that. I just like to joke around. It's my sense of humor. People call me all different names that are not my name, and I'm so used to it. I got called Roxanne a couple days ago, or yesterday, I think it was. And I was like, oh, there's another one. Another variety. All right, at some point I'll try to find the prettiest piece of paper that I've cut. I was so excited to use, and I don't know what on earth I did with it. But in any case, whatever. Back to my point. You can cover these with designer paper, so you don't have to leave it as, you know, as is. However, this did come with strips of paper that you can cut out. As you can see here, I have some in solid, and then I have some in this pattern here. So this does come with the strips that that cut into the paper. They're called verso dies. That means they don't cut the edge. So the 2 dies will cut out this pattern, etc., etc. That's what I meant to show you guys. So let's get started there, because I actually did also cut the base papers in this adorable Maggie Holmes paper. I like Maggie Holmes because it's whimsical, and that is my style. I am unapologetically in love with everything whimsy. It's just what I like. I find it to be feminine and pretty, and that's just my taste. You know, everyone likes something different. I also like to craft in a very elegant style whenever it's called for, the occasion calls for it. Because this is my first go around, and I promise you guys I have glue in that bottle. My goodness. Only on a live video do my glue bottles decide not to work. I might have to stop the video and start over, guys. because I kid you not, this was like just fine 2 seconds ago. Okay, here we go. So back to what I was saying. I like to create elegant projects as well, but because this is my first go around with this particular die set, I just got it in the mail and I wanted to play with it. Then I figured I would do the whole Maggie Holmes book. Sans the stitching, I was not going to do any machine stitching today just because of my back situation. I'm staying away from sitting as much as possible because I'm still trying to heal. As you can see there, sometimes I have to remove a little bit of the adhesive from that. And if you're wondering why I'm doing the decoration now, I like to do it while the paper is still flat before I assemble something that's 3D. It makes it a bit easier to go ahead and do that. Rather than trying to apply adhesive to something that you sometimes have to bend or that sort of thing. So that's where I wanted to begin today. And good morning, Beverly. I pray that you guys had a good weekend. I was fine until I heard that another hurricane was hitting Puerto Rico, because it's, you know, concerning for me having family there. So I covet your prayers. If you have a moment today to pray just for everyone down there in general. It doesn't just have to be for my family, of course. The entire island is precious, and you know, it's just disheartening sometimes when you know what's going on. And it's, you know, it's not easy to know that people are having to handle the same kinds of situations over and over again. It gets repetitive after a while, but I'm happy to report, however, that I did contact both of my parents and they're both fine. So I'm very, very glad about that. I'm just praying that the rest of the family is also okay. And I know that a lot of people today are having, you know, respectfully declining from crafting because of the passing of the Queen in England. So my condolences to all of my British friends. I've got a lot of friendly crafters that are from England that watch my videos as well. So, you know, my heart goes out to them because I know that they're all in mourning. And I suppose, you know, we don't have the same type of, you know, we don't have a monarchy here in the United States. So it's a little bit, you know, of a different climate. But I know that she was very much loved and very respected by the people there. So again, these are just the decorative portions of this, and God willing, I will find my other piece of paper that I cut with so much love. So just grab a cup of coffee or tea, whatever your preferred beverage is, because this is just going to be a peaceful, hopefully, just a peaceful video where you get to see me put these things together. And on here it indicates, and I'm going to take a peek, that you should do the bottom, let's see here, attach 2 of the long, yeah, it says to do the long pieces first, so I think that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and burnish this first. And that's just a matter of folding these little sides like so. And then grabbing one of the rectangles, okay? Because anytime you die cut, you do get, pardon my stutter, you do get that little of a beveled edge. Then it's really up to you whether you want that to face down or face up. I don't think it's going to be of any consequence whichever way you decide to to put it. So I did put a double-sided adhesive on these already, and then I'm just going to follow it up with a little line of Nuvo because it is nice strong glue. And I'm just going to line it up corner to corner and then fold it down. And that way it meets the edge perfectly. And then that little folded portion is facing the inside, and that way this can be covered. I do not celebrate Halloween, sweetheart. I abstain from anything that has to do with the culture of death because I am in love with life. And more importantly, in love with Jesus, the author and giver of life. So, I don't do, you know, I don't partake. Some people do. I refrain from it. If you want to know more about why, I can, you know, shoot me an email, and I can share more of my personal beliefs and that sort of thing, but not everybody's interested, so that's why I don't go into too many details on this channel. But in other videos, I've covered that. And just, you know, just what God's shown me. So, and Susie, hello. I'm very, very flattered that you would listen at work. I know it can be a good distraction sometimes too, right? Depending on the environment that you're in. All right, so now the shorter piece here has a three sides that fold. So this is a super easy box assembly. And of course you can use this for so many other things. You don't have to use the box portion for the shoes, which is another great idea. When these die sets are released, is that if you do have other projects in mind that you know will fit in a little box, or for instance, if you want to make a card that has a pop-up type of you know, element, you can definitely just use this and then put your little pop-up elements in here, and there you have a card. And if you're curious, this does measure 4 3/4 by 5 3/4 when it's folded like this, if that's something that you wanted to find out before purchasing this set. And there we go. Well, I appreciate it. And I think, you know, what's so wonderful about this crafty community is that I've said that, like, I mean, this channel's been up for quite a few years now. And before that, I had a blog in which I was very, very active. And I've shared for over 10 years, you know, that I am a Christian, I'm a believer, and that there's a lot of things that I don't do just because of the freedom of not having to do them. And I've never gotten anybody, you know, any negative remarks or anything like that, which is wonderful. I get more critiques on my personality or my, I don't know, other things, you know, like your video was messy, or your picture didn't match the project, things like that, which are things that, you know, you can just learn from, really, because it's, let's face it, we're all different, and we're not everyone's cup of tea, right? And that's okay too. I was just saying that to someone the other day. I was like, I know that, you know, I'm not for everybody to what do you call that? Like, I'm not going to be everyone's friend in this world, because it's, you know, it's a personality thing, right? Some people you gravitate toward, and some people just have a different personality from you, or whatever, right? And that's okay. You know, there's no, like, feeling of rejection if that's the case, or, you know, and I know people who have entirely different lifestyles from what I do, and that doesn't mean I don't love them, you know? Okay, so there's that part. And as you can see, all I did was repeat the same here. And what I'm noticing right away is this is a pretty deep little box here. So I'm kind of excited to see how the shoes are going to turn out because of the height of the box already. So I'm doubling up the glue, guys, and just to let you know, if you're new at crafting, which I think most of you are not, but if you are new and you happen to watch this channel someday in 2025 or something, don't trust the glue strips. They're temperature sensitive. So that's why the liquid glue comes in handy, because it does create a bond with the paper. And that's why I'm going through the trouble of using it, even if it's sparingly. This glue is well worth it. So, because I now have those 4 edges like that, and for some reason, I don't know, bear with me guys, I'm trying to catch up on my own video. Here we go. So because I have those 4 edges now, those little seams showing there, then I want to cover them up, and that's where this pretty paper comes in, because I want it to be pretty once this box is opened, and not showing those nitty-gritty little details there, of course. And now off camera, I can certainly go in there and line the rest of the inside of this. I won't torture you guys today with that, however, but I am going to cut this down a tiny little bit, because of course whenever there's a little bit of a fold in paper, it decreases the size, and it can be as short as 1 millimeter, but it's going to make a difference. Okay, so that's going to make sure that it lines it perfectly. And just applying a little bit of adhesive here should do the trick. And there's that. Okay, so just a little pressure there. Now if you emboss paper, if you are applying pressure, just be a little bit careful that you don't accidentally flatten the embossing that you did. And of course, if you spritz the paper a tiny little bit with just the smallest little bit of water, it also helps for your embossing to be smoother or nicer. Okay, so now let's do the top. And like I said before, I had a pretty piece of paper for it. Don't know where it went, but I'm going to practice forgiveness. I'm just going to fold the longest pieces. Again, I'm going to follow the same advice, because it is good advice to do the longest pieces first and then the shorter ones. Oopsie. I'm going to try to follow that line that already scored into the paper. And a word of caution, when you are folding that really thick paper, you may accidentally buckle it. If you do that, just do what I'm doing here and straighten it right back out. Because Tonic Studios I think it's because of their metric system of measuring, they don't do a really wide brim on the things that are, the tabs that are folded and all that. They tend to be, I would say an eighth of an inch instead of a quarter. So it's a bit thin, in my opinion. And sometimes it can seem like it's going to be flimsy, but that's where the really good glue helps out. So I'm just setting the 2 shorter ones aside and starting off with the long ones. Here's that. And I'm going to double it up again. And here, I want that beveled edge, actually, you know, making sure that that's the top. So I'm just going to do the same thing again and go on the sides. And as this is done, I'll start on the shoes. I do have it all cut out already. That's why you see the pile over there. So I appreciate your patience while I'm doing this part. Now the opposite side, going right in. And as I said before, off camera, I'll do all the bells and whistles to the box because I do like to line the interior of the boxes that I make, making sure those are nice and straight. Now I can do the other two sides. This one. Okay. And once that little base is on, now I can do the little tabs. So this one, it takes a little bit more, I would say a little more care, just because, again, of these pieces being smaller. There's not a lot to grip there. So if you're not a fan of long fingernails, get out your little pokey tool or anything like that. That'll give you more dexterity to be able to grab onto these. And of course, I'm speaking to my demographic, those of us who wear glasses already, whether voluntarily or not. All right, so I just pinch those for 2 seconds and then move on to the next one. The same thing here. Apply my little strip of glue. Go on. So I'm going to give an open invitation to you guys. I'm going to try to refresh my feed here because I don't see the chat. Here we go. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing I'm so sorry I hadn't seen your comment till just now, Sapphire. I think boots would be phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Why not, right? It would be excellent. Of course, you know what comes to mind is that old country song. These boots were made for walking. Can you imagine the gifts that could come out of that? Oh man, oh man. Oh goodness. That could be kind of crazy. But I recall years ago I made a birthday banner, and it's probably the one of my favorites. And I wish I had, you know, clear photos. Back then I didn't have a good enough camera. But it was cowgirl themed for a little girl's birthday, and I made it with my Cricut. I didn't have any dies back then whatsoever. I don't think I knew what a die was. Or actually they weren't as detailed and pretty as they are now. Let's just leave it at that. And it was just, it came out so stinking cute. I remember just having a ton of fun making it. And the birthday was, you know, with a little barn theme and the whole 9 yards. Super cute. The mom showed me pictures later, and it came out adorable. So I can just imagine, you know, little party favors like that, you know. Okay, so as you can tell, I went ahead and I did cut these out. These extra little pink strips, I knew I was gonna want to use them for the inside of the box. So I just went ahead and did that, quick and easy. And now the lid is semi-done. Again, I'm disappointed that I don't know where I put this one little piece of paper, but God willing, I will find it. Now, let's move on to the shoes. You get the base, and thankfully, they were mindful enough to do left and right. And then you get these pieces here for the heel. You get the pieces for what will be the front of the shoe. As you can tell, there's a bunch of little tabs there. And then you get these that initially will look like little helicopters, but they are the pieces for the heel. So you need 6 of these in total, 3 for each heel. And then the rest is layer, layer, layer. So you do whatever you like in that sense. But there are these adorable pieces that are the strap of the shoe, for instance. Those are included. There are layers for the inside of the shoe, which I will be using today. So let me put these over here. There are also these pieces that's meant for the heel. These are for the heel, so you only need 2 of those. And then there are the buckles for the little straps. That die comes in the set. You also get 2 different kinds of bows. There's this one, which you can do a longer tail. Let me see if I'm in frame. The longer tail or the shorter one. It's an adorable little bow. So again, another piece that you don't have to use with the set. Hi, Wendy. Wait, are you flicking me off? Oh, awesome. You're gonna make it as well. Oh, you're too funny. Wendy, don't worry, girlfriend. I know you mean well. But welcome, sweetie. Another sweet friend watching from work. So here are the little tiny bows, and guys, if this doesn't speak to like breakfast at Tiffany's, oh, I just love this bow. I think it's so gorgeous. Very, very classy. Simple, but super classy. And then there's the little flowers, and you do get 2 versions. I picked one of the 2, but what I love about this set is that it has the graduated sizes. So it has 4 different sizes of the same flower, so that you can layer. They did the hard work for you. I just cut them out twice. So super cute. And of course you can mix and match. You do whatever you like. I just wanted to give you guys a rundown on that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the layers that are going to go inside of the shoe. But I do want to start here, and I'll share why. This is going to require a little bit of molding or shaping, of course. So here's my recommendation on 3D items like this, right? And this one goes here, by the way. I'm not crazy yet. What you're going to want to do is when you have paper that's going to go on a surface like that, that's going to be like domed, you may as well just shape it also. And this is just a little tip of mine. It doesn't mean you have to follow it. And then adhere it onto the paper that you also gave a little bit of shape to. That way the fibers start breaking down and it makes life a little bit easier. And that's just my 2 cents. This also comes with another layering die that's very, very intricate, but because I'm going the Maggie Holmes route today, I'm not using that one. But you can definitely make these super classy with the other. And of course, you know, I think most of you guys know, if you see the ones that the girls did with the from the design team, ooh la la. I mean, their samples are just so gorgeous. And there's another woman, you want to go on Facebook and see what people are sharing on the Tonic Studios page, because I have seen such gorgeous samples of what ladies are already making. So, oh, don't worry, Wendy. I won't jump to conclusions or anything like that. But yeah, I can't wait to see what Wendy makes, because I know she's going to love this set. So I'm now going to be super gentle here, because I can already tell that this is something that I could definitely injure quite quickly, and I don't want to. So here's what I'm going to do. All right, I know that this is going to be applied here. I'm gonna do kind of like, well, actually, no, I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to do a little bit of dry adhesive only on the edge here. And this is only on the tip of the shoe here. This is 1/8 of an inch wide, yes, 1/8 of an inch wide. And I'm doing this just to allow myself to have a little bit of a grip before I start. And then I'm definitely going to be using wet adhesive as well, like I said before, to make sure that it's a permanent bond there. But this also has that little fold here and then the little fold in the back, so that you can definitely make it super high, or you can make it, you know, just little, how do you say those, pantouf, slippers? You can make them little slippers. I think one person made them like that, in fact, in the group, and it was just gorgeous. Now, there's another set that matches this that I did not pick up because in haste, I didn't even look. I just clicked buy, put it in my cart. Oh, no worries. Yes. You know, I don't know if I want to do the heels today. I suppose I should, just because it's my first go around and I don't know what, you know, I don't know what the assembly is going to be like exactly. So I figured I should have a play. All right. But what I'm seeing here is that I think, just in looking at this, because there's this little tip here to the shoe, I'm wishing I had my glue gun out on the ready right now. So I'm just going to hold on to this for a second, make sure it makes contact, because even though I did put the dry adhesive on there, this is going to take a minute. So I'm just going to pinch and hold for a moment, because there is a curvature there and you want to make sure that it stays like that. But that is 3D crafting, you know, the more you fiddle with it before it dries, the more it'll shift. And that's not necessarily what you want to go for, because you do want to maintain that curve. That's what makes it so pretty. So it's going to take some manipulation. In fact, I think it would be even easier if I had done a little bit of folding of the bottom piece. So I might try that with the second shoe, because this is thicker paper. So the other option would be, of course, to do this layer here that I have in the white, to do it in thinner cardstock. And I might just do that instead of adhering it to, or I'm sorry, instead of using this heavier one. We shall see. Right now, I just have glue all over my fingers, but I do have a, what do you call that thing? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to think of, hold the paper. Rubber eraser. I have a rubber eraser that is my best friend, and that's how I get rid of all the yuckies, because let's face it, when glue oxidizes, it doesn't look like glue anymore. If you guys know what I mean. But patience pays off, and I'm hoping this stays. If not, I'll just cut it again with thinner paper. I'm just gonna try to, you know, force it, bend it into submission there. All right, let's hope that that stays. The only tricky part is this little corner. Might have to add a little bit more glue there. There we go. But generally speaking, like if I get little yuckies, I just use this. This piece here, just to let you know, this is Maggie Holmes one-sided paper, so it's not very thick. Sometimes I do print it onto thicker cardstock. In this case, this was already purchased, you know, the kind you just get in those packs of paper. So the butterfly paper here is not thick. The rest of the shoe, everything else is 110-pound cardstock. So I'm going to leave that there to dry. Give it a second. Once it's completely dry, I'll go in with that rubber eraser and get rid of the yuckies. And if the paper stains, because it does happen sometimes, I just add a little shine. I'll go back in with a mousse or whatever else I need to use. Try not to stress out about it. But here's what earlier, maybe I should have just curved it first, just to help myself out. Because of course those are the things you don't see in the pictures, which is why I do like making the live videos, is that we all learn by watching other people and, you know, share the mistakes, not just the successful projects. And then that way we can all learn together. All right, so now I'm going to repeat this. I'm starting there at the tip again, working my way down on one edge. And then I'm going to try to work the other edge as well. There we go. I was thinking also that if you wanted to do a pair of shoes that have kind of like an open toe look to them, you could totally do that by just cutting a piece off of this. It would look so adorable. I'm going to try to use this just to make sure that this is all the way to the top here. Oopsie, took my tab out. There we go. So again, kind of pinch and wait. Pinch and wait. All right, so while those are drying there, I'm going to do the rest of what goes on the inside. And this does come with these two little pieces that will deboss the paper. One says "for you" and the other one says "love." I didn't use them today, but they would have ended up debossing in here. That's why I didn't use them, because of this being a pattern paper. But if you use metallic paper, you'll be able to see it, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer these. And of course, you could add shine to all of this, you know, whatever you like. Again, I'm just playing today, so I'm keeping it simple. I think this goes over here. Yep. Gonna make sure I don't switch up what's left and what's right. There we go. Okay. And the other thing is that you want to be mindful of the pattern on your paper. I tried to purposely repeat the butterfly motif in case you haven't noticed already. But that's what I tried to do here. So there's also this portion here. And this is what goes on the back of the shoe. So again, I'm going to try to shape it a little bit first before applying it to the base. And I'm going to give myself some insurance here. So I am going to turn on my hot glue just in case if I need to go back and do some little touches, then that way I can go ahead and just make do with that. But the layering piece I selected for that was this black and white, same paper collection, just a different color to switch it up. And now I can layer these. that piece. And this does also come with another die that will cut into the background. So if you want to make it super frilly, you can do that. See? The other way. Okay. It looks like a little happy face, but it's not. It's the little tabs. And now this is going to be the same as the front, where you want to fold, apply glue, and set it down. I want these little tabs to be underneath the shoe. I don't want them to be visible from the top. So again, here's what I'm gonna do. Now, if this ends up being really icky on the bottom and I don't like the way it looks, I'll just cut the base again out of designer paper and then stick it right on top and hide all the yucky stuff. On the inside of here, no one's going to really peek in there, so I'm not too worried about it. But say I were, you know, then I would just cut this piece again, cut away the tabs, and then slide it right in there and adhere it. So those are just different ways, you know, to make things look really pretty and finished, you know. So let's remove this backing. Apply the glue. And now I kind of want to find my center because I want to make sure this is going to fit right here. So I'm just going to pinch it and then apply the pressure. I think that's going to be the simplest way to go about this. Okay. And again, I'm going to be able to cover that bottom, so I'm not too worried about that. Just going to grab this bone folder to apply my little pressure there. And I'm trying to kind of push this in a little bit as well, so that I don't get too many gaps here. And there we go. Okay, so I've got that. And moving on to the next one. And I could leave them just like that. I think that's super duper cute, just as it is. Thank you so much, Wandy. I appreciate your vote of confidence. This one is a little bit crooked, guys, but that's okay. That means the girl wore the shoes for a little while. And maybe she had a baby and her feet swelled up or whatever. Which makes her relatable, in my opinion. There's variety in life, so you can have variety in crafting. Don't worry about it. All right, now the next one. You guys know I have to find a reason to laugh about everything, because that's just me. I like to laugh. I like to make jokes. Cannot change that about myself. All right. I'm gonna pinch and hold, pinch and hold. And then apply pressure. Seems like a makeup tutorial, but I promise you it's not. Okay. There's that. Boom. Okay. Not too painful, I think. You know, it does require patience. I mean, I can't lie about that. It requires patience to work with these kind of fiddly little things, but I think it's so well worth it. I'm almost thinking I don't want to add the heel because I'm kind of worried about what this is going to look like. But let's I don't know. I'm thinking hot glue would be my friend here, just because this is kind of fiddly. And it has the 2 tabs on opposite sides here, 2 tabs or 1 tab on each end, like so. And I am gonna look at the reference just to make sure. Yeah, it's supposed to create a shape, yada yada. Okay, I get it. All right, so you end up laying these one on top of the other. Try to have some faith faith in myself, faith in my crafting ability. There's number 2 there, and then number 3. Let's hope we don't have a Cinderella moment. Okay. And the idea here is to follow the shape of this base here. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Follow that shape. Place your second one. And do the same thing again. Just think of this is why heels cost $300, guys. Just because imagine this in leather. In case anyone ever questions your purchase history, it's like, listen, takes patience. All right, now of course glue again, and this bottle will cooperate today, but now it's just a matter of following those edges. And let's face it, today's sample might be quite messy. Next edge. And that's because I try to move on from the, holding the paper as soon as I get that tack. But if you make it and you're not doing a live video, you can take your time. I just know that I cannot be here for 4 hours making a pair of shoes. All right, next little piece here. Serious stilettos, girls. These are no shy little heels. Not shy at all. Okay, trying to get all of it to touch, the base there so that it stays put. All right, so the last one's kind of fiddly because you do have to pull on it and then get it in there. I may have to revisit one of those tabs, but yep, this one here. Okay, so once those are good and ready, excuse my voice, then the shape that you get here is where you're going to use the little reinforcement piece. So that'll let you know whether or not you have it straight enough. But now it's just a matter of adding the glue to these little tabs and then applying this little shape to create your little heel. And I'm just going to hold that for 1 second. Okay. And again, the wet glue is a little bit slippery, so it helps to just hold it taut for 1 second. Make sure everything's flat. And then once it gets that grip, then move on. So let's repeat it. Again, pretty side down. And of course, oopsie, you can cut these in the designer paper. I do prefer, however, the thicker cardstock for these pieces because of it. It's going to support the shoe. I guess that piece did not need glue, and I don't know why I did that, but looks like a windmill or a little flower. And then it's a matter of fold and glue. I think I should have done the folding first, but that's okay. Do my folds. And then do all the other folds. And it is getting stormy here where I am. I live in upstate New York, and we're already into fall weather. I go into a state of denial every year, but here it is. Not even October yet, and it's already getting dreary and dark. But it's good to have the seasons. Okay, it's just the humidity that kills me. Not a fan. All right, there's that. Halfway there on this heel, halfway there. Wish me well, ladies. Another strip. Come on, sweetie. Sometimes a little bit more glue is what you need. All right, so then very last one. I try to paper as well as I can. Get my glue on there. And insert that tab. And then just kind of push it right back out so that it makes contact. You may have to use your pinky, just to let you guys know. It's a little bit on the narrow side here. Okay. Just trying to make sure those folds are still, you know, nice and sharp. And then I can do the little tabs as I did before. Okay, so now once I get it in there, again, applying pressure just to make sure that makes good contact. And in hindsight, I should have made this, I should have made this in the gold, just to give this little shoe a gold heel. But I can definitely go back and add the little panels off camera, which don't be surprised if you see different pictures on Instagram than what you see here today. But there's that second heel. Woo! I feel like I deserve a trophy just for that. I'm gonna go back and clean this up just a tiny bit now because I know that this glue is now dry. Make sure that it's looking prettier. All right, so that should be good enough. And you can determine where you want the little strap on this shoe if you're going to use it. I think it's adorable. So I'm going to put the little buckle on here first. And of course you put it wherever you like, but I'm going to put the buckle on and adhere it. Just trying to make sure that the buckle actually goes into the little hole there a little bit at least. Okay, so once that's on there, I'll apply my glue, make sure that stays put. Just a little drop of that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side to make sure that I put both buckles in the same place. Okay, apply the little drop of glue there. Make sure that stays put. And then this does have a little bit of a bevel edge, which again kind of lets you see, all right, you know, you can put both strips in the same direction or you can flip them. I don't think it's, you know, a big deal if one of the little bevel edges is down and the other one up. It's just, you know, it's just a pair of shoes. They're not real shoes. So I am going to place here, just giving myself a little bit of, you know, room there as to where I think it should be. I don't think there's a rule. You can definitely put these on the inside if you want, like starting on the inside, but I think it would look better on the outside, especially since, you know, that's typically how shoes are anyway. So I'm just going to apply this here, bring it to the other side. Oopsie. Can't move it too fast. And then just to make it look like the buckle's there, of course, then try to bring the buckle a little bit closer. There we go. And of course you can make it loose or more loose than that. That's just personal preference. Apply a little glue on the side here. And the same here. Just hold on to that for a second. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the chat. I hope the connection hasn't been too horrible. But I do appreciate anyone who has stayed. I think Wandy's still here. I'm not sure if anyone else is still with me, but if you do leave a thumbs up, I will truly appreciate it because it will make my day. I'm going to find my paper here for a second because I did have I think I may have cut into it. I think that's what ended up happening. I accidentally cut into the designer piece of paper that I had for the lid, so I'm gonna cut that out again. I discovered my error. Using this piece here, which you can tell if you have a 6x6 piece of paper, you can cut it out very easily because it's not even that big. So I'm gonna have to, you know, switch it up. I was gonna do butterflies, but oh, no worries, Tanya. Thank you for joining us. Truly appreciate you being here. And if you give a thumbs up to the video, if you like the content, I will appreciate it. So I'm just gonna cut this off to place it on the box while I'm thinking of it. And while those are drying, I do want to give it a moment to kind of make that good tacky seal there. And I'm really sad because my box was going to have the butterflies. Now I'm going to have to just do it separately. But that's my own fault for not understanding that you can't cut into the paper for the little pieces if you're going to use it for, for the box. And oh boy, the skies just opened up here. So let's go back to this just really quickly here. I want to apply this layer here on top. And of course you can distress it, you can, you know, emboss it like I did the inside, whatever you like. I'm just going to go ahead and apply some adhesive here, keeping it kind of simple. And here's that. And I'm praying my connection doesn't give up on me, but there's my little box. I'm just going to set it aside for a moment. Now I'm going to have my little heels to apply to the shoes. I do think I want to cover this up, however, so bear with me. That'll just take me 1 second. I'm just going to get my dies out and match up. Since I did the stripe on the box, I'll go ahead and do the same for the bottom of the shoes. Just give it a really whimsical look. And this is what those look like. So I'm just going to put them here. And if you are wondering about the size of the box, the panels will cut out of a 6-inch wide opening or base, I'm sorry, of a die cutting machine. So you don't need really big machines to be able to use this set, which I think is really wonderful that Tonic Studios is listening to their customers and taking that into account, of course, because not everyone has the larger machines. Let's pray I did this correctly now. But what I wanted to do is cover up the bottom now here. See that? That way it's a little bit more designer-like. And it'll clean up a little bit of my mess. So I'm not sure if anyone out there does make shoes with stripes on the bottom. If they do, I think that'd be really cool. I don't have that kind of budget in my life because I spend all my money on craft supplies. But I suppose if I didn't buy paper to make paper shoes, I might just have the kind of budget to buy striped bottom shoes. All right, here's this one. Super duper cute. So playful and adorable. Okay. And it's kind of a neat little surprise to lift the shoe and see another pattern on the bottom, I think. And then of course, here comes the heel. So then in this case, it's up to you. If you want to start folding it, I would say that that's a good idea because it's going to sit like so. And I hope you guys can see this okay. But now it's just a matter of applying a little bit of glue here. And my glue gun, although plugged in, was never on, so can't rely on that. But I'm going to try to center this here now. Just eyeing it. And applying pressure again. There's no straight lines when it comes to this heel. So just going to try to make sure that I keep it nice and clean. There we go. And in the past, if you've seen my other video where I made a heel with the silhouette cameo, I had so much fun making that one. It's a gorgeous stiletto. In fact, let me show you the other one. It's not a Tonic Studios one, but in case you need a comparison in size, this is the one that I made with the silhouette. And of course, it's a super shabby chic one. So that one's got more like mixed media stuff all over it. But I'm just going to see if this will make contact. I can share with you the height. The Tonic Studios one versus the silhouette. Now, mind you, this is a digital file. You can cut it as big or as small as you like. I just left it as it was. I didn't really alter it or resize it. And then here's the height of the Tonic Studios one. I hope you guys can see that, how much lower it is. Okay, in case you needed to refer to that. And of course, I'm fiddling with this a bit too much. I need to be patient. But you can definitely fold this down and it'll stand there like that. I would just say do your folding while the glue is still wet so that you don't get any crinkling or buckling in the paper. But it's looking like I'm gonna have to, you know, hold out a little bit on that on the hot glue to make sure that this is very, very secure. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be for a second. Go to the next one, do my little bit of folding again, because I know that this glue is not 100% dry just yet. And I don't want it to buckle. I don't want it to crack either. So that's why you want to be gentle when you're doing this portion, right? And then apply the glue. And I'm dying to get to the cutesy stuff. I have no patience when it comes to the assembly because I just want to make it pretty. Just want to add the flowers and the butterflies and the bows and, you know, that sort of thing. That's the fun part of crafting for me. This assembly stuff, ugh. It's kind of like, oh, come on. Be done. Be glued. Right. The other pointer that I would give you is to try to make sure that the back of the heel matches. Try not to have a seam in the center here if you're not having it on the other one, because then it's just going to look like two, you know, separate pairs of shoes that you just happen to find together. And that's just personal preference, of course, but I would just say from a design standpoint, those are the little things that I think stand out. To have the heel the same distance from the edge if you can, in the same position. And of course you can use a pencil to kind of give yourself a little tick mark if you need to. Because after all, it is just paper crafting. But if you suffer from OCD like I do, for instance, the stripes are bothering me because they're not exactly the same. One's more diagonal than the other. But those are things, of course, as I say, can learn from my mistakes. This one's trying to be Cinderella over here. Come on. Trying to get her to stay. Stay, Cinderella, stay. Don't run off on me. And I think it's the humidity in my room, guys, because it is, I have a torrential storm coming through right at the moment. Sides or just the front and back pieces? Thank you so much, Wandy. So Wandy's asking, does the Tonic have the sides or just the front and the back pieces? I'm trying to figure out what you're referring to. I don't know if you're referring to the box or the shoes, but in this die set, you get absolutely everything possible for the shoes. Your shabby shoe. All right. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Wendy. I'm not understanding the question. Just the front and the back pieces. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to double up these little bows. I did cut them both in black and gold. I think I'm going to double them up. Lord have mercy, what did I do with the other black bow? I knew it was in here. And I guess I lost it. I don't know. I can't see, guys. So my hope was to add the little golden bow to this. I think I might add them in the front. I thought initially I'd add them on the back of the shoe. Let's see here. And I think I'm going to end up adding them to the front. What do you guys think? There's also the black, but I lost my partner here. I don't know what I did. I think the black is kind of cute. Even though I like the gold. I may reserve the gold for a different pair. And of course there's the little flowers, but I think the flowers would look really pretty on the box just because of this pair of shoe. I might just do the little flower here. Oh, thank you so much. This one, the shabby one, yes, this one does have, you know, I mean, it's an entirely different look to it. I would go crazy like this on this pair of heels, but I mean, that takes hours to do. And I physically can't even stand here that long. The Tonic shoe, I see the front where you put your foot and the back piece to support your foot. I was asking if it had a piece to kind of connect the front with the back. Oh, I see. You're talking about a supporting piece to connect like this part to this? I think that's what I'm understanding. No, I won't ignore you, sweetie, but I would say you could do a piece of acetate. If you're really wanting to make sure that this like doesn't move forward, you could definitely do a little piece of acetate and just cut it into a strip and then connect this piece with this piece and you'll get that, you know, stability if you want. It really depends on how you're going to display them as well, but that wouldn't be a horrible idea. I'm going to go ahead and cut another black little bow because I really like that look. I thought I was going to like the gold, but I'm digging the black. And I'm going to just grab my mini little machine here. So I hope I was helpful in answering your question, Wendy. I think I understood you, but if I didn't, you know, let me know. I'll be happy to give you a better answer, you know, because I don't want to leave you with any doubts if I can be of any help. But I'm loving the whole kind of, this little black bow though, really. I mean, I could see myself using this all over the place. It is just so delicate and pretty. I absolutely love it. I would totally buy shoes that look like this, by the way. I don't even care. Butterflies, I think, are timeless. And, all right, there's that. And then I'm going to add the little pink flower in the centers with my tweezers, like so. And here's the other small one. Okay. And then of course you know that I'm going to add little gems to all this, right? Oh, a closed shoe. I'm trying to think. A closed shoe. Oh, I see. Okay, I capiche. I get you now, Wandy. You were referring to this side and this side. That's what you were talking about. So Tonic did not include that in this set. This is more open. However, I mean, if you know how to follow the curve of the die, I don't see why you couldn't make your own. It would just take a little bit of playing around, but I'm sure it can be done for sure. I'm just going to apply these little gems here. And the glue dries clear, so I'm not too concerned about that. And while those are drying, I want to... Yes, you're absolutely right. I think that when it comes to these designs, I mean, this is a feat of... this is not an easy design to come up with because of the curve. This feature here is such a strong curve that it really makes it difficult to then create a panel that's going to fit there. So as far as this shoe is concerned, for instance, this is a separate piece back here. And then, of course, this piece travels all the way over here, and then this piece. So in order for that to work for a shoe like this one, you would almost have to extend this back piece and just keep going with it, but it would have changed the front entirely. I think they were going for a more kind of simple look, and that's why they kept it like that. But yeah, by all means, you could play around and cut your own pieces of paper. You know, there's no rules when it comes to that. But let's see how they look now inside of the box. You can put them right in here, and so that you can see why the height of the box is such, because then you can put them in there like that. And then put your lid on. And of course, this is a simple, very, very simple version. Although simple doesn't mean easy. Not in my opinion. And I'm seeing here that this is really, okay. One other pointer. If I were you, I would not bother lining the inside of this lid. And the reason being that I just put it on the bottom and ended up having to fold in this box a little bit in order for this to fit. And I'm now getting this little overbite thing. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm hoping that once I line the outside of the bottom box, it looks a little bit better. But that there kind of bothers me a little bit, to be completely honest. But it's still cute. Oh, and then I can decorate, of course, the top here. I don't have that other die set like I mentioned earlier, but I have the little sentiment that came with this. And then I have the bow. Oh, thank you so much. I'm hoping to finish it off and make it pretty, you know. But I'm just going to fold my little gold piece of paper here. And hopefully my hot glue is good now. Yep. Just going to use this to leave a little drop of adhesive there in the center and bring those two pieces together. And then apply another little drop. Excuse me. And I think I'm going to go with this bow piece. And, whew, okay. Got to work quickly there. Now I'm going to try to pinch it a tiny little bit here, holding the center, but yep, I just did what I didn't want to do, which is to create a crease. Oh, yeah. All right. I was trying to make it more poofy because it was way too flat, but I can cut it again and add another one on top. All right, there we go. I think I can add the bow on top here. course, this is just one of many options. But this one says fabulous. And I think it's a really adorable little gift for anyone who needs some encouragement or for a wedding shower, anything like that. And then the little gem in the center. And of course, those of us with the Hispanic background, you know, for quinceañeras, this is a perfect gift, because that's typically in, you know, Spanish or Hispanic society when the girl gets her first set of heels. Not that everyone's living like that anymore, but it is a very sweet tradition, I think. So to give a gift with, you know, the set of heels, I think is phenomenal. So there's one little flower that can be added. I guess I'll add it down here in the corner. And we've got plenty more here. I can add more volume. And one more. Why not? Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I feel like I'm doing a one-on-one session here, Wandy. I don't know where everyone else went. I don't know if it's because of the weather or if just that everyone bailed because I'm slow. But thank you, thank you. I do see that there's 5 people here, so I don't know if who else might be still watching. But if you did stay, I do appreciate it. And as I said before, I appreciate everyone's support and kindness in watching this channel. Even if it's just for a little bit, I do, you know, enjoy everyone's company. I think I'm going to take off this little one and put it on the side. Yep, I'm going to do that. And I'll finish this off with little bows and whatnot. A little piece of ribbon and maybe some leaves. This only came with the flowers, but I mentioned before that it did come with 2 kinds of flower shapes. This is just one of the 2. So super sweet. And let's see here. You know, you can add the little gemmies and all that good stuff. Make it adorable, right? Just gonna add that there. And just make it ultra pretty. This is an adorable set, just like all the other ones that I've picked up, the 3D items from Tonic Studios. And for anyone who might want to pick it up in the future, if they bring it back into stock, because I think they sold out of this one. I do have a Tonic Studios link. It's an affiliate link. Support my channel. I don't get a whole lot of money for making videos. In fact, I do them for free. So if you want to support my channel, please click on my links to make a purchase, whether it be for cardstock or anything else. And oh, I had another a little idea here, which was to use these sentiments for the actual shoes. Before I forget, because this is where I was going with this earlier, was that this paper collection came with these little strips, and I thought it was so adorable because one of them says dreams are for chasing. So I totally wanted to use that on this project today. I'm going to cut that one out. Yay, awesome, Tanya. Thank you for being here still. I know it took me a bit here to complete this, but I think it goes without saying it's still tons of fun. So I'm just going to cut this here. It's got a little bit of an edge there. And I purposely cut it as if it's just torn paper because I wanted to make this kind of a little shabby. And I might start, what do you say? My English. Oh, I can't think. I might start spraying this. Oh, I couldn't get that word out. With splash. That's the word I couldn't think of. And kind of shabby it up a little bit more, because I think that that would be a lot of fun. And I'll do that off camera today. I was just thinking that this would be a lot of fun to kind of have this little sentiment here. Dreams are for chasing. I'm just gonna put it right there because I'm gonna keep playing with this. But I love that sentiment, and I wanted it to be part of this project. Because if you're gonna just chase anything in life, don't chase people. Chase your goals, right? Chase your dreams. As females, I think we need to remember to do that. So absolutely stinking cute. Cute, cute, cute. Now I can celebrate because I'm happy. I'm happy. So if I can get your feedback, let me know if there's anything you like about this project or my tutorial, if there's any pointers that you can take with you that will be helpful. I will really appreciate that. And I think I'll end my video here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay fabulous, ladies. This has been a lot of fun. As I always say, oh, hi, Kathy. I'm so sorry you missed the video, but you can watch it on replay if you want to. Just speed it up. Get the little wheel and put it on fast, because I'm, I took my time creating these today. And it was, it was a labor of love, but here's the little shoe, a little close-up with the little bow, butterfly themed, the little heel there,